Good day, learners, class of 2020. Allow me to introduce myself. I am K Mgijima, teaching business studies at Richard Baha High School in Divaza. Today we will be doing business studies lesson that will be in term 2. Then firstly we need to start from the layout of our paper. Remember, with business studies we have 2 papers now, not like last year where we had 1 paper. We have 2 papers. Paper 1, here's the layout for paper 1. We have 2 topics, the main topics, that is business environment, business operations. As you can see there, I've highlighted the red ones. Those are the topics for term 2. The other ones, the macro environment, that is the impact of legislation, the business strategies, human resource function. Those are the topics that we have dealt with in term 1. We are done with those topics. We will only focus on quality of performance for now. Then moving to the layout for paper 2. Paper 2, the red ones, that is management and leadership, investment, securities and insurance. And that other one, that is the team performance. Those are the topics for term 2. The other topics, like this one, it was for term 1. This was term 1. All the other ones are term 3 topics. Term 3. So you are left with 5 topics for term 2. We will start with the quality of performance. Then the quality of performance, as you all know that quality of performance is one of the challenging topics. It is a compulsory topic for paper 1 under the business operations, which is the main topic. It has to be taught adequately by the teachers so that we allow the learners to have the attempts for paper 1. According to our diagnostic report, it indicates that this topic is still challenging because from last year we can see that we all know that it appears in question 5, question 6, question 10. With question 5, it is section B according to last year's paper, and also this one is section B, then this one is section C. Then with question 5, you will have your main topics, that is business operations, then T2M will be one of them. With this one, it's only 25% of it, but learners, they couldn't respond or they couldn't attempt to answer those questions. As a result, they poorly performed. I have an example where learners were confusing. This is an example like when they explained quality, they were confusing it with quality assurance and also quality control. I'm not sure whether I'm not too fast. Okay, let's check the outline of our exam guideline. Our exam guideline, it defines or it explains what we need to study, what we need to know. As you can see, quality of performance, it's focusing on 2 things. It focuses on quality, it also focuses on T2M. So the whole topic is not T2M. Part of the content is quality, part of the content is T2M. With quality, what you need to know is to define the terms. Those terms is quality. You must be able to define quality. You must be able to define quality control, quality assurance, quality management, quality performance, quality management systems. The terms, learners, they are a little bit confusing, but when you are able to define quality, it's easy for you to move to quality control, quality assurance and quality management. But you will see when we get there. This is just an outline. Then also our exam guideline requires us to differentiate between the quality control and quality assurance. Again, we differentiate between quality management and quality performance. You must be able to explain the advantages of a good quality management system. Discuss how quality of performance can contribute to the success or failure of each business function. You must also be able to outline the quality indicators for each business function. Then you will be done with quality. Then you move from quality to T2M, which is the T2M you start by elaborating on the meaning of TQM, because you will not understand the rest of the content if you can't elaborate on the meaning of TQM. With TQM, you will have 5 elements that you need to focus on. There are 5 for this year. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the TQM elements, you will be given scenarios. In those scenarios, you must be able to identify. You must focus on the verbs. You must be able to identify from given scenarios the TQM elements. The first one, continuous skills development or education and training. Total client or customer satisfaction. Continuous improvement to processes and systems. Adequate financing and capacity. Then monitoring and evaluation. Those are the 5 TQM elements that you need to concentrate on. Then after that, you need to explain the impact of all the TQM elements on large businesses. We don't focus on small businesses this year, we only focus on large businesses. You must also be able to explain how to apply the PDCA model. This is a model when you want to improve your processes. Also explain the importance of quality service. Discuss the impact of TQM if TQM is poorly implemented by businesses. You must also be able to outline. The verb here is outline. You must be able to outline the ways in which TQM can reduce the cost of quality. That is the outline of the topic. That is the quality of performance. With the first section, the phase as quality, then the second one is the TQM. There is a diagram or an illustration to show you that when you define this one, you must be able to define, then you will be able to make a distinction between the two, because you must be able to differentiate between the two. That is quality control and quality assurance. When you do the differentiation, it's proper that you do a T form or a table so that you are able to write from the other side, that is quality control and quality assurance. And even with this one, you must use a T form so that you are able to make a distinction between quality management and quality performance. Then the last one, with regard to the definitions, you must be able to define quality management systems. Then after defining, you must explain or discuss the advantages of the quality management systems. This is just a diagram to make you understand how these concepts go around. Then with the last part of that quality, it concentrates on the business functions. We all know that we have 8 business functions. I will not mention them. You can see them because you studied the content from grade 10. So we all know that we have the 8th one is marketing. You have the general management, human resource, production, purchasing, finance, administration, public relations, marketing. Then with regard to the characteristics or what are the responsibilities of each function, that one was taught in the previous grade. The concentration now is on quality indicators. How do you see, how do you know when a business function is performing? And also how quality of performance can contribute to the success or failure of the business, because each business function, it must perform. Then let's move to the actual content, the definition of the terms. Here is a definition of the quality. It refers to a good or service's ability to satisfy a specific need. Each and every product, it will have a specific need, meaning that we are talking about the degree of excellence in that product, whether the product can perform what it was intended to with your customers. bear in mind that the customers expect to have a product with specific standardization. Then when you differentiate quality control and quality assurance, it is not the same. With this one, the final product you inspect, you are doing the checking. Finally, the product is ready. Then you ensure that it meets the required standards. The required standards are those that are from your customers, because you did your market survey to check what is it that is needed by your customers. Then with the quality assurance, you check each and every step, each and every stage of the process, whether are you meeting the standardization. Then also with the quality control, you set targets, you measure the performance, then you take corrective measures. But with this one, you ensure that every process is aimed at getting the product right the first time, and you are able to prevent any mistakes from happening again. Then moving to the next one. We said we have quality control, we have quality control and quality assurance. Then I want to move to quality management and quality performance. With quality, you only do two differentiation. You distinguish between quality control and quality assurance, and also quality management and quality performance. With the quality management, those are the techniques or tools. What is it that you use to design a product? What is it that you use to improve your product? That is, what is it that you use so that you get what you want from them? That is, you are managing the quality. Then with quality of performance, you only see it when all the departments, that each department is measured against the standards. Here, you are referring to the tools, concentrating on the tools and the techniques. But here, when you see, I will make an example. When you see a product, I will make an example of a phone, a cell phone. When you see a cell phone, you as a consumer, you can't see if all the departments were involved or all the functions were involved. But when the customer likes the product and the customers are coming back to buy the product, so it means that they are satisfied. All the departments, the finance department will be involved, the purchasing department will be involved in terms of buying the raw materials, the production, because they produce according to specifications. If they do it like that, if you are satisfied because the product, it meets your expectations, it means the marketing function was involved, the financial function was involved because they are doing the budget. All the departments, they are involved. The general management, which comes with a vision on how to manufacture the product. So it means with quality, performance, all departments are involved. With this one is the tools. Then with the quality management, remember with quality management, you are managing quality, you are using the tools. It means that it can be used for accountability with each department. That is, each business function, it serves as an accountability measure. And with the quality performance, it can be, if all departments work together towards the same quality standard. You can't expect another department to have other expectations and the other one have other expectations. So they must come together so that they achieve one goal. With quality management, the aim is to achieve consistency. You must be able to achieve consistency, that is, you are managing the quality. Then quality performance, it is measured through the physical product. Once you are done with the product and the product is liked by the consumers, it means you are able to say you have the physical product, you have managed to achieve what you wanted to achieve. Then we are still on quality. We said it is the degree of excellence of a product. It is the ability of a product to meet specifications. It is the ability of a product to meet expectations of the customers. So the main aim is to satisfy our customers. So the benefits that you get when you have good quality management systems. Remember, you may have quality management systems that are not good, but if your systems are in place and they are working for the business, it means you will get benefits. The benefits is advantages. So learners, don't confuse benefits with benefits and advantages, the same thing. Other questions will say benefits, the others will ask for advantages. So it is the same thing. So when you implement good quality management systems, it means you will have increased customer satisfaction, because when you have goods that satisfy your consumers, your quality management systems are in place. It means effective customer services are rendered. You are able to satisfy your customers, then resulting in increased customer satisfaction. And also, you won't waste any resources. Time and resources are not wasted because they are used efficiently, because your systems are in place. You will also increase the productivity through a proper time management. That is, you will be using high quality resources. Remember, with the general management function, you have your vision in place, vision, mission, meaning that they are the ones who will be setting targets. When you are able to achieve those targets, it means you have a good quality management systems. You will also earn a competitive advantage over your competitors, because customers will favor you over your competitors. And also you will broaden your market share, increase the market share, more customers that will enable the business to improve the profitability. And also the image of the business will be improved, which is the main aim. Why is it improved? It's because you are producing products with less defects. There are no returns. That's why it will improve. Then coming to those functions, that is the functions, the 8 functions. I will just go through them. Remember, we said the contribution of each function to the success of a business. Then dash quality indicators. So you don't have to learn another content for quality indicators. When you have a positive contribution that will bring success in a business, it means that one is also a quality indicator. So how do you know when a general management function, this is a general management, how do you know when a general management function is performing well and it contributes to the success of a business? When they're able to develop effective strategic plans. It means effective strategic plans are those plans that are achievable. Are they able to allocate resources efficiently? Are they able to communicate the vision? The vision might be there, but if the general management can't communicate the vision to the employees, to the managers, to whoever, it means they can't go the right direction. They are the ones to set direction and establish priorities. Then ensure that all the departments, remember, with the general management, we all know that the general management, it ensures that all departments, they meet the deadlines and also the targets. So they are the overall overseers of the other functions. That was the first one. Then the second function, it is the production function, where the actual production is taking place. It means that you must be able to provide high quality products according to specifications. Remember, you have the specifications in place. It means you have to follow the guidelines to produce quality products of high quality. Then those products and services should be produced at the lowest possible cost. Remember, you want to maximize profits. You can't maximize profits if you can't produce using the lowest possible cost. So for the production function to perform, to say you have a performance indicator, it means that you must have products that meet the customer requirements. Producing products that do not meet customer requirements, it means those customers will not buy the products. You are unable to beat your competitors. And the products, they must be safe, reliable, and they must be durable. Remember, we are referring to equality. For a product to say it has a good quality, it has to be a durable one. We are using machines in the production function. We must utilize them optimally. Optimal utilization of machines. You may have a machine, you've invested in machine, buying a machine using capital. Then if that machine can't work properly, it means that is not a performance indicator. Then you must also calculate the production cost. You can pair this one with this one. Calculating the production cost, you will be able to know where your production cost, when your production costs are at the lowest point as possible. That one is the production function. Then moving to the purchasing function. Purchasing function, its responsibility is to buy whatever that needs to be purchased in a business. We are focusing maybe on raw materials. Then you buy raw materials at the lower prices. You must have reliable suppliers who will be able to deliver your raw material at the right time, right quantities. You must be able, as a person working in the purchasing department, to place orders timelessly so that you don't have stoppages. Place orders so that you don't have stoppages. Also, the required quantities should be delivered, because you have the what? You selected a reliable supply. When you select a reliable supply, that supplier will be able to do what? To deliver at the right time and at the right place. And also you will be able to monitor and report on minimum stock levels so that you don't have stock out where you have your employees not producing because there is no stock. And also you must ensure that there is no break in the production due to stock shortages. Then the other one is the marketing function. Marketing function, you all know that it concentrates on the consumers outside there. When you are doing the right thing as a marketing department, you will increase your market share. In market share, those are your consumers. Or you may say, this is your target market. Target market, those are the people who will be buying your product. When you have more numbers in terms of customers that are coming in, it means you will be winning your customers because you are satisfying their needs. And also when you do the advertising, when you're doing a promotion, you must ensure that you are doing ethical advertising, because you want to arouse the interest of the consumers. Then differentiating products in order to attract consumers. You don't have to produce products that are the same as your competitors, because your clients will be confused. You will lose the customers when you can't differentiate. Pricing techniques that we use, you must ensure that you have a competitive advantage, that is, you are able to beat your competitors. You must also be able to determine gaps between customer expectation and the actual experiences. The fifth one is the financial function. The financial function, you must be able to obtain capital. Remember, in a business, you use capital to run a business. You must be able to obtain capital from reliable sources. You cannot just have capital from sources that are not reliable. And also negotiate better interest rates in order to keep financial costs down. The financial function must be able to draw up a budget. You can't operate without proper budget to ensure sufficient application of monetary resources. Also the granting of credit. Implement credit granting or debt collecting policies to monitor cash flow, because cash flow is the one that can make a business fail. If you don't have a cash flow that is in the right place, it means the business might fail. You must be able to draw accurate financial statements, timelessly and regularly, so that when the management or whoever, the stakeholders, shareholders, whoever, when they want to make use of the financial statements, they are able to interpret your financial statements because you've prepared them in the proper way. Then, coming to the sixth one, public relations. This one, public relations, is one function where you have to deal with publicity, especially the negative one. You don't wait for a negative publicity to fail the business. You must deal with negative publicity quickly. That will be your quality indicator. Provide regular press release. Provide, because what you want to know, what you want to do, the aim of this function, you want to have a good image towards your customers. You must be able to implement the CSI program. Remember, with the CSI programs, those are the programs that will make the business popular in the community that they are operating in. Having the proper CSI programs, it means the community there will love the business. That is the aim of the public relations. There is this one, high standard of internal publicity. Internal publicity, like when your employees are answering a phone, are they doing it the right way? That is the telephone etiquette. The appearance of the buildings. Are they professional when they answer telephone? Are you able to deliver quality goods to promote the image? The aim is about promote image of the business, because you want to have a sustainable business. Then the seventh one is the administration. That one is very easy to remember. With the administration, they are doing the data capture, meaning that it must be fast and reliable. You may have data capturers and processing systems, but it is not a quality indicator. The department is not performing if the data capturing is not fast and reliable. And also you must be able to make reliable information available to management on time. Because if the information is not reliable, that is not a quality indicator. You must be able to handle complaints quickly and effectively. Remember, with the complaints, if you can't handle complaints in the administration function, that one will bring a bad attitude from the outside customers. Then you must also be able to use modern technology. If a company can't move with technology, it means for their administration, they are not doing well. You must be easy to find information. When you want something, it has to be easy. You must find the information easily, or you must access the information. Financial documents, they must be kept up to date, and they must also be recorded accurately. Then the last one is the human resource. We all know human resource, it deals with the hiring. We are hiring staff here. All those people that are working in all the 8 departments, they are hired by the human resource. So you must make sure that you have a good recruitment policy that will attract the best candidates. Also, your process, it should be fair and equitable when you select. You avoid against things like nepotism, those that are not according to the law. Then fair remuneration packages is the one that will keep your employees. Also, you offer performance incentives for the staff so that you enhance productivity. And there should be a good relationship between the employees and also with the employers. Your human resource or your staff, when they are satisfied with remuneration, with the terms in the business, with whatever that is happening, you are giving them incentives. It means there will be a low rate of staff turnover. Staff turnover rate, it means when they go and leave, that rate is high. So we will have staff that is motivated, staff that is loyal, who will remain with the employer until such time they will stay longer with the business. So for this function to perform, there should be a low staff turnover rate. If this is high rate of staff turnover, it means the business is not performing. That one is not a quality indicator. Then moving to, there is an activity here. This activity, it will appear in section C. Remember, in your paper you will have section A, which will be, you will have your section A. Section A is compulsory. That is paper 1. Compulsory will have 30 marks. Then you will have section B. With section B, you will be given 3 questions. In those 3 questions, you are required to answer only 2. And these 2 are at 40 each. Then with section C, you will have 2 questions. Remember, okay, with this paper 1, that is the quality of performance is under business operations. You have business operations as human resource and also quality of performance. It means you will have 2 essay questions from quality of performance and also human resource. It depends. I don't know how examiners are going to set those questions, but this is the structure of the paper. It will be 40 marks each, meaning that you have your 40 times 2 here is 80. You will have your 30, you will have totaling up, adding up to 150. So with this question, I'm bringing this activity in so that we are aware of the essay type question, how to respond to an essay type question. There is an essay question. It was question 10 taken from November 2018. You can see it's business operations, quality of performance. There is a statement there. Businesses implement quality assurance in order to produce quality products. Some managers believe that this can be achieved by focusing on quality management and quality performance. Others argue that the general management function and the production function play an important role in implementing total quality management, that is TQM. Give an in-depth analysis of quality of performance by referring to the following aspects. The first one is you elaborate on the meaning of quality assurance. So the question now does not require you to differentiate between quality control and quality assurance. It needs you to elaborate. It means you must define quality assurance. You don't bring them together and distinguish between them. You distinguish between quality management, quality performance. You must suggest quality indicators of the general management function. Remember, we've done the quality indicators, we included them in the contribution on success of a business, and also the production function. Then you must be able to advise businesses on how TQM could impact on the reduction of quality. You see, in this quality of performance, the first part is on the definitions of the quality. When we're defining the terms, we defined quality, we defined quality assurance, we defined quality control, quality management, and quality performance. Then when you came to the general management, to the functions, business functions, we explained the success indicators, that is the quality indicators of the general management, whereby one of them was to say if they can have a clear vision, then the business will succeed. That one is a quality indicator. With the production, if there are able to produce goods according to specification, the required specification. That one is a quality indicator. Then you advise, we will come back to this one after we have done the topic, because this one is on the second part, which is the T2M. I said it's quality. Our quality of performance is quality. Then you move to what? To T2M. So this one, it belongs to the other part, which is T2M, the one that we have not yet done. I just want to show you how to write this essay. When you write the essay, it is one of the most challenging topics, sections of a question. When you write an essay, you start with the introduction. Learners, they are lazy. They don't want to write the word introduction. You must write the word introduction. Then you write 2 sentences, only 2 sentences underneath. Those sentences can be based on the bullets that you are having. Remember, in your essay, you will be required to respond to 4 bullets. The 4 bullets, you can say something about one of the bullets. You can say something about any of those bullets, but it has to be 2 sentences. There will be 1 mark. You will get a mark by writing this introduction. It will be indicated by L, because remember, when you mark an essay, we have something that is called insight marks, whereby the F stands for the facts that will get the ticks that you will get from the facts that you responded to. You will have the layout, you will have analysis, you will have synthesis, you will also have originality. When you write introduction, it means you will get 2 marks for the facts and another mark, but you will not get this 1 mark of L if you just wrote introduction without anything underneath that introduction. Then you move to the body. Your body, remember, in your body, you must have those bullets. Your essay must be structured according to the bullets. For instance, the first bullet requires you to give the meaning of quality assurance. It means you will have quality assurance as the first one. You have the second one, which is quality management and quality performance. You will have general management. With this one, it means you will have sub-bullets. You will discuss general management and also the production function. Then you have the impact on the reduction of cost of quality. So you will have your bullets. Let's say 1 was for introduction, then 2.1, you indicate I will be outlining, I will be discussing or explaining quality assurance. Then 2.2, I will be giving a difference between quality management and quality performance. Then 2.3, I will be having 2.3.1, then 0.2, because the first one will be, I will be outlining or discussing general management, performance indicators, and also production function, performance indicators. The last one, it will be 2.4. So how costs of quality can be reduced, if I'm not mistaken. Then the last one will be your conclusion, which will be number 3. You have your conclusion. Then having the layout, you have your conclusion. Conclusion, it will be 1 sentence. 1 sentence. That sentence will be 2 marks. That sentence, you can take something from what we have discussed, but you must guard against repeating whatever that you have responded to in the introduction, in the body. You must write a new thing in the conclusion, then you will be awarded 2 marks. Then the second L will come in when you write the word conclusion. then you write one sentence. You will not get it if you don't write anything. Then you will get 2 marks for your layout because you have the other one here. Then with analysis, when we have all the bullets that were required according to the question, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's fine, you will get 1A for analysis, meaning that you were able to analyze what is required by the question. Then if your marks, that is your facts, are above 16 marks, you will have another A. Then you qualify to have 2 marks for analysis. Then with synthesis, synthesis is when you write all the facts that you have indicated here are relevant facts, then you will get 2 S's. If there is something, a paragraph or maybe 2 paragraphs that are not responding to what has been required, it means you will see next to your essay you have a -X, meaning that -S stands for irrelevant facts. For an example, here we are talking about quality assurance, quality management, everything on T2M. Then in the midst of things, when you put in maybe Labor Relations Act, which does not fit here, which is irrelevant for the question, then you will have a -S. Then coming to originality, there's a problem with originality because originality is not just mentioning the examples. Originality is when you are elaborating from a point, then you explain, linking the point to the example that you are giving. You must explain the example, not just give an example. For an example, learners, when they give examples, maybe an essay is on corporate social responsibility. They will just give an example, say KFC, because they know KFC is sponsoring cricket. They'll just write, you will not get an O. So an O, it has to be current examples, then you will get 2 marks if you have 2 examples of an O. That is how we are going to respond to an essay. I'm citing this now because I know my time will be up soon, so I don't want to leave you without understanding how to write an essay. Then you will get your foot. They will count your ticks, adding to the 80 marks. That 8 marks is like 3 marks. Then your points will add up to 32. Then you get 40 out of 40 if you have managed to get that one. Then let's come to the second part of our topic, T2M. Is T2M total quality management. As you know, that is total quality. It is something that has been integrated. It is an integrated system that is applied throughout the organization. With T2M, the aim is to satisfy customer needs. So businesses have to ensure that they meet the quality, they meet the expectations of the consumers. They are able to take steps to ensure full involvement of all employees to improve the quality. You improve the quality continuously. You don't improve it once. That's why you are having total quality management. Then what is it that you must know for the T2M? Remember I said that there are 5 elements that you must know. With the 5 elements, you must know their impacts. What is the impact on large businesses, not on small businesses? Continuous improvement to processes. When you study this one, you must also go to a model that is called the PDCA. This is a model that is used when you want to improve your processes and systems. With the improvement to processes, it has to be something that is continuous. For instance, businesses, large businesses, they have more resources to check on quality. Then also, they have enough capital. It is available when they want to buy new equipment. They will have enough capital to buy a new equipment. Also, they are able to employ a person who is dedicated to the improvement of those processes. And also, they afford the use of services of quality circles. We will get to quality circles, because we all know quality circles are those groups of employees that meet regularly, so that they forward suggestions to the management on how to improve quality. So that's what is positive about the continuous improvement processes. It is also has a negative impact. It has a negative impact because large-scale manufacturing can complicate quality control. When you have a business that is producing on a large scale, that one will complicate quality control. You won't be able to do that one. Also, the systems and processes, they take time and effort to implement. It will take time to change the machine, to buy a new machinery. It will use your money. It will use your money. Whether you have capital, it is also risky, because sometimes you will be changing something that does not need to be changed, but because you want to beat your competitors, you are at a risk of changing parts of the business that are actually working well, that you think they are not working well, but because you want to move up above your competitors. Then coming to the going back to this continuous improvement to processes and systems. I want us to jump. I said you must do it with the PDCA model. We have a model that we use, we call it PDCA model. It is used for improving quality of products. So when you want to improve your processes, you use the following steps. There is a diagram that will make it easier for you to understand. You start by planning, then you do, then you check, then you act as needed. There are 4 stages of the PDCA. This one is an acronym. So this P stands for something, D, C, A. This is planning, this is the do part, this is the checking part, this is the action part. Then when you plan, it means when you want to improve processes. When you want to improve processes, it's either you want to change something or want to improve on something. Businesses, they should identify the problem first at the planning stage, and also develop a plan on how to improve. You identify the problem, then you develop a plan for the improvement. After you've done that, you move to the do part. With the do part is whereby you will be implementing. In the implementation, you should not implement on a wider scale. You implement your change. What you have planned in stage 1, you must implement it on a small scale to see if it is working or not. Then if you move to U3, with U3 it is the checking part. You must do your assessment here. You use the data analysis, the data to analyze the results of the change. Remember, you've identified your problem, then here you've implemented it on a small scale. Then you must analyze whether it is working or not. You should assess, plan and establish if it is working, if things are going according to your plan. Because when you check here, you are checking whether it is working according to the plan that you have developed in stage 1. Then if it is working according to the plan that you have developed in stage 1, it means you can continue, you act as needed. But if it is not working, you can't continue with the change. Hence, in stage 4, you devise strategies on how to continually improve. Remember, when you are doing continuous improvement processes, you will also need to have consistency in terms of producing your product. You devise strategies on how to continually, because you don't improve once, you must do it on a continuous basis. If the change was a successful one, you must implement it on a wider scale. So you act as needed if it is, you are fine with the change. So you are able to implement on a wider scale. That is the PDCA model that you must link it to. You must link it to the continuous improvement to processes. So in your notes, when you started this one, always highlight PDCA, because You must understand this, then you link it to this model. Then coming to the second one, that is the second element, which is the impact of continuous skills development or education and training on large businesses. We have positive impact there. The positive about this TQM element is that businesses, they have large human resource department. A large business will have a department that will be focusing on skills training and also development, and also they have the ability to afford those people who we call experts, because they are able to pay them those huge sums of money as wages. They may be able to hire qualified trainers to train their staff. But there is a negative on that one also, because with the employees that have been trained, they can leave for better jobs. You can train them, disadvantage, they can leave for better jobs because they have gained more skills from you, and you can't change that. It demotivates employees if the business can't recognize them for their training. Moving, we are running out of time. Moving to the client satisfaction. Total client satisfaction on large businesses. The aim of any business is to have a large market share. It means those businesses that are big businesses, they are able to use market research and do a customer survey to analyze the customer needs so that they produce whatever that will satisfy the customers. And that will result in the promotion of the positive image of the company, and also will have customers that are loyal. Those customers that are, we even call them those that are brand loyal, because even if the price is high, they will come in and buy the products because they are the loyal customers we have. We also have increased profitability because of we are satisfying our customers. We have the negatives. Negatives, this one. Not all employees may be committed to total client satisfaction. When we have a big business, we have a large number of employees. Not all the employees will be committed to achieve your goal of having products that are of good quality. And also those monopolistic companies, they can bargain, increase the bargaining power, because they can charge higher prices. That one is a disadvantage. The impact of adequate financing. Adequate financing. It means the business has money and the capacity. That is the size of the business, and also the resources that they have, capital that they have. What impact does it have? It means they have sufficient financing to test everything before they implement it. Testing something, it will cost the business. Large businesses will have finances to test something new. They can afford to have systems in place to prevent its defects. Also, they can afford to purchase the quality raw material because of the financing that they have and also the size of the business. Then with the negatives, if the demand for the company's product increases, orders will come in faster than expected, and the companies might have cash flow problems, because sometimes when the orders arrive, there is no money maybe to buy, to fill in the stock orders, especially when a business is a growing company, because they will need to use large amounts of capital when they try to balance the normal operations and expansions. The last one, impact of monitoring and evaluation processes, evaluating quality processes on large businesses. Monitoring is when you are monitoring whether everything is going according to what you have planned. That one, it brings the positives because it will minimize wastage. There will be no customer complaints. Those good quality checks, they will minimize the breakdowns of your machinery. If you are servicing your machinery, monitoring if your machinery has been serviced, then you won't have any breakdowns. Also, the performance improve performance and maintain high quality standard, allows quality control checks and procedures at key point, because they are doing the monitoring. Large businesses, because they have departments, various departments, it is difficult to get into to monitor every department or to communicate whatever change that might come in, or to check and communicate with the departments. That one, it brings a challenge. It also often takes longer to detect problems in those departments. So they can't respond to the weaknesses because it takes longer, because of the communication that is not going well. Then, those are the what? I'm left with 5 minutes now. Those were the 5 TQM elements that you need to concentrate for paper 2, paper 1. Then there is this one of quality circles. When you do this one of quality circles, remember what is the role. Why do we say quality circles are important? It's because they are able to bring suggestions to the management on how to improve quality. And also, you will be able to solve your problems, because at the ground level, they are able to solve problems that are related to the quality, and it increases in morale and motivation of the employees, because when employees take decisions, when employees have an input in your decisions, they will own it, then they become motivated. They always sit and discuss ways on how to improve the quality or how to do things, and that will result in harmony, having employees that will build a healthy relationship between the employees and the employer. Then the last one is the impact if TQM is poorly implemented. TQM, if it is poorly implemented, for instance, when you are setting unrealistic deadlines that may not be achieved, that will impact negatively to the business. If your employees are not adequately trained, that will result in poor products. You will have returns, defects, and also decline in productivity, because there will be stoppages because of breakages. Then also the reputation of the business will suffer because of poor or defective goods. Also, investors, they might withdraw in their investment if there is a decline in profit, because you can't have profits that are high once you have employees that are not trained, ending up having produced goods that have defects. Also, decline in sales, because goods will be returned by unhappy customers. There will be also high staff turnover. You want to have staff that will stay longer with the business. If you don't develop their skills so that they produce high quality goods. This is the last one. How we can reduce the cost of quality. Equality, it will have the cost implications. Then you must check the activities so that you don't have the duplication of tasks. With this one, you will be assisted by the quality cycles, because they will ensure that those activities are not duplicated. They will discuss how to improve. They will share responsibilities, having your employees sharing responsibility, especially amongst the management. You will be able to reduce the cost of quality. Train employees at all levels. Don't train those at the ground level, leaving the management. Train all employees so that everyone in the site is able to understand the role of quality management. You must work closely. This is very important. You must work closely with your suppliers to improve the quality of raw material. Having poor raw material, you won't be able to produce good quality products. You must also be proactive in terms of maintaining your equipment to avoid the stoppages and the breakages in your equipment. This is the activity that you can do at a later stage. You are given a scenario whereby, as the exam guideline was saying, you must be able to identify the TQM elements from the scenario given. You highlight, you name the TQM element, then you motivate it by quoting from the scenario. Then the other questions, examples of questions that are taken from November 2018, evaluate the impact of 1 to 2M element, that one that has been identified in the previous question. Then explain the impact if T2M is poorly implemented. Advise businesses on the benefits of a good quality management system. So if teachers and learners can concentrate and focus on the exam guideline, all the action verbs that are in the exam guideline are the ones that appear in your final paper. When they write examination, you will find out the questions are familiar because they are familiar with the outline that is in the exam guideline. I think I'm done. I have a quote here. Doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment. Those are the words from Oprah Winfrey. Class of 2020.